Girl, let's face it, if you won't prep for the new year, by just the calendar page being flipped, nothing will change in your life, babe. It's just the yap, I'll do this, I'll do that. Next year will be so amazing, just because I dream so, just because I wish it would be, but I do nothing for it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you found it. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe right now and thank me later. Okay, let's start. So today we will talk about the master plan for preparing for 2025 or any next year, to be honest. Today we'll talk about a step-by-step process for preparing for 2025. So I've seen hundreds of videos about preparing for New Year, winter arc, start New Year strong, finish this year strong. And you know what? All of those videos gave me some perspective of how incomplete my planning for the new year always was. So after research and hours spent on YouTube watching all the videos, I created a full step-by-step guide for you guys of how to prepare for 2025. And all the steps are written out there. You can copy it in Canva using the link below the video, and you can print it out or you can make screenshots of it and just fill it in digitally and write down anything you want in there. But first of all, let's talk about the actual steps you need to take in order to prepare for 2025 and to make it the best year yet. Okay, I need to warn you that it's not as easy of a process that I've used to feel it was for me, because I just wasn't making it a complete whole picture. For me, it took about a week to complete all of the things that I wanted to complete to close off my 2024 beforehand and to actually get ready for 2025, get my actionable steps in, and be peaceful that I will start off my 2025 prepared, strong, and inspired. Okay, so my plan consists of 7 steps. Some of them I noticed to be working for me. One of the steps I've seen the other creator do. I will mention her podcast and her socials below this video so that you could also get some inspiration from her content. And let's just dive right into the steps. Step 1 is set the scene. Step 2, reflect and review the passing year. Step 3, create a vision and purpose. Step 4, set goals. Step 5, make a vision board. Step 6, make unfinished business list. Now let's talk through each and every step I mentioned. So I call this whole process a planning session, which is actually a bit more business type of approach for the goal setting, but it's not only for the personal life, to be honest. As this planning session consists of the 7 steps, the first one being set the scene is very important. For setting the scene, you need to have time, space, and to be comfortable in that space. First of all, make dedicated time to really sit in with your thoughts, with yourself, and plan everything and think everything through without a hurry, without disturbing environment, somewhere you're comfortable. Would it be at home? For me, it's at my home setting. Would it be at a coffee shop with your headphones on, where no people will distract you, where no people will want something from you? Just make this uninterrupted time with your full undivided attention. About 1 to 2 hours of planning will save you so much more time later. For me, setting the scene means getting into some cozy home outfit, making myself a cup of coffee, sitting down at my desk close to the window where I have a lot of light, having my undivided attention there, informing everyone in my household, which is my fiance, that I'm in do not disturb kind of session right now, and if I'm home alone, then I just sit down to that. Step 2, when you already settle down and you're already in your cozy place, you can start the actual planning. have some notebook with you or your electronic device. And if you want to use my template, print it beforehand or make some screenshots of it in Canva and use it on your iPad or any other tablet. So when I was doing it, I sat down, I created a cozy space around me, and when it comes to reflection and review, I try to ask myself questions like, what were my achievements? What went well this year? What went wrong? What is the one lesson that I've learned that I want to take with me into the next year to not repeat my mistakes or to just take this knowledge with me into the next year? And I was actually writing it down on paper first, and then as I've kind of created this small grid for everything to have its own place, I just put it into the digital form for you also to be able to use it. So basically with reflections, I write down my achievements and my challenges, and then I write out my moments of joy when I felt the best, and then I write my gratitude about the moment that I felt the best, just to show my appreciation and just to see how blessed I really am. So there is also a section for it in the template. After you reflected on your year, after you wrote everything out on the paper and you can see it and you see what mistakes you have made and what you're grateful for, you can now progress to planning next year. So first of all, you need to have some kind of purpose to drive you, some kind of vision to guide you through the year. Your vision must be concrete strong, and I'm not even exaggerating. If you have not strong enough vision and purpose, if you don't have your why you're doing this, you won't make it. You will give up. It will be just another year of, oh, I will be going to the gym every day, I will be doing this and that just won't happen. Your motivation will run out, and without purpose, your discipline won't kick in. So that's usually how all of those New Year resolutions end up. And we don't want that. And I'm here to actually stick to your word and reach your goals. For us to have a good vision, we need to choose one word that our whole 2025 will be circling around. So for you, it could be family. For you, it could be career. For you, it could be travel. So choose something that will be your purpose. Choose something that you want to exceed in. Make it speak to you. Try to choose one thing that you want to make better that year, that you will need to put the most work into, and that will bring you the most joy when you will actually reach that goal, when you will actually make it happen. After that, clarify your values. Choose other spheres of life that are important to you. I chose 9 most important, most common spheres of life, and I think some of them are less important to me. I still wrote at least one goal in each and every one of them, but in some of them I have 3 goals. I've limited myself this year to maximum of 3 goals per life sphere, because although it's a year, we really don't have that much time, and we really do not have that much energy to tackle all the things we want in one year. Girl, your energy is limited. You cannot give it up to anything that comes to your mind. That's why you're doing this. That's why you're sitting down right now, you're taking your time, you're prioritizing what is actually of value to you and what will actually make your life better. The next thing you need to do to plan the 2025 correctly is visualize it as the perfect year. I've actually seen a lot of people do this before, visualizing their perfect year and then searching the pictures that are in alignment with what they were thinking of and sticking it and making a vision board out of it. But this was the first year that I've encountered Beck Stewart on Instagram. She actually has a podcast and a series of prepping for 2025, and in one of the reels that I've seen of her preparing for 2025, offered to write a letter from your future self as if the 2025 ended and you've reached all of your goals. And then she offered to stick it to your vision board to actually relieve that amazing emotions of success, of reaching your goal, excitement, that gratitude for everything getting just how you wanted it to look like. And I think this is something really powerful, and I also wrote a letter to myself. I actually was a bit weirded out about how it will look like, what should I write, how will it sound, and if it will be easy for me to actually imagine that all of my goals, that I completed it and reached them. It was so easy, and right now I'm so motivated. I want to reread it all the time because I feel like it gives me such a big motivation boost. I've also added it to the templates, so you'll just have the whole bundle, I guess. And with that, you have now created the full picture of your 2025, and you have your vision that will actually help you to prioritize your goals and to really make them happen. And finally, we got to setting goals. Usually my preparation for the next year would only consist of this step. I was completely not self-aware. I completely didn't look back at what happened with me, if I've grown, how I've grown, what I've learned, and I would just, like, oh my gosh, this is a new year. I would just make everything completely changed and altered, and I will make it happen just like this because it's a new year. But you know what? I'm sorry to disappoint you. If you were doing something like this till now, please try to proceed with this whole process, and you'll see how your life will change completely and how your 2025 will be your best year in more ways than one. So as I've already mentioned, I've divided my piece of paper into 9 squares. Each one of them were corresponding to one of the life spheres that were important for me. Those goals that are more important for me have more goals. Those spheres that are less important for me have at least one goal. So I've decided not to overload myself with more than 3 goals per life sphere, just for me to actually reach all of those goals. I've tried to make them as doable as possible, but also challenging for me to actually work on them. Here's how it looks like. I have them all written out in here. Step 5. And this one is very popularized and very used by people, which is create a vision board. And my vision board is already printed out and it's already here. My vision board last year was the first time that I've actually printed a vision board, and it changed my whole life. I was never more motivated to actually stick to something because I always have it in front of me. It's actually here in the frame on my desk. So whenever I wake up, I go to do something, I usually stand for a sec and just look at it, and I'm like, yes, I want it. I want this kind of clear skin. I want to be healthy like this girly. I want to visit Paris and so on. And I just have it all in front of me, and it changed my understanding of the vision board, because usually I was like, okay, I just don't want to waste time. Like, what I will do with it later? Will I just throw it out? So I just usually put it as my wallpaper on my phone or on my laptop, and I usually didn't take a second look at it. And that's where the problem starts, because the whole point of vision board is of you envisioning, visualizing, looking at it, looking at this picture and visualizing yourself every day, as often as possible, multiple times a day that you're doing this, because this will give you a boost of motivation and will more likely keep you disciplined, because you will want that. you will see that and it will trigger you and you will want that. So that's the simple logic behind the vision board from my perspective. At least for me, it works like that. Okay, step 6 might be very interesting for some of you. I don't know if you've made something like this before. For me, it's something I was doing. I wasn't actually making it part of this process, but this year I understood that this is an integral part of me planning and preparing for the upcoming year. And this is something I call unfinished business list. This is very simple actually. I'm just creating a master to-do list of everything I want to finish by the end of the year. Of course, it's not like work tasks, it's not like a laundry task, it's big stuff that I need to finish by the end of the year. For me, it's of course by Christmas present, because Christmas is coming soon. For me, it was print my vision board, print my photos. I always try to keep our photos printed out for us not to have them just in digital version. So this year I've actually printed them out. It was also on my list. I also needed to plan a birthday present for my mom and a few other tasks that are just, you know, I need them finished and figured out by the end of the year, because I don't want to start my 2025 with like, oh, my mom's birthday is in 15 days and I have absolutely no idea what will I get her, and it's also after holidays and nothing is working and I don't know what I want to get her, and so on and so forth. So this is very important, and I also added this to the template. This will help you so immensely, so just try it out for yourself. One more task that I forgot to mention about my list. So one of my goals for 2025 was to start waking up at 6 a.m. consistently every day to make my biological clock work correctly. So one of my tasks was to find a device that will wake me up without waking up my fiance, because he has a very delicate sleep and no one talks about it. I don't know if all the content girlies are living alone or how they're managing waking up like this, or they're waking up at the same time as their partner, but we're waking up at completely different times. And for me to wake up without waking up my fiance is very important, because then he just can't fall asleep and I don't want to prioritize my health over his health. So one task that I had on my unfinished business list was find the device that will wake me up. And I bought myself this watch, I think it's Xiaomi or something like this, and it has the silent alarm, so it's just vibrating on your wrist to wake you up. And I've actually started waking up at 6 a.m. already, just to get ready for the 2025 straight away. To not be like, oh, I will be waking up at 6 a.m. from next Monday or from the first day of the new year. No, girly, it doesn't work like that. Or you are ready and you are getting into this routine right now, or you won't be ready then. Nothing is changing just like this. Nothing is changing momentarily. You need to at least prep it for the change, or work for it to change. So yeah, this is just one more thing that was on my list that I wanted to mention. And yeah, so the last step is planning check-ins. As I started waking up at 6 a.m., I decided that I need to have a plan. I do not have mental capacity in the morning to wake up to actually think about what should I be doing, what should I be watching right now, should I be exercising. So I implemented something from the video of Ali. I will also link this video down below, and I've made something like the perfect week calendar, where I've mentioned everything that I really want to do this week, and basically I try to stick to it. And if last year I was creating my check-ins with myself about my goals and about how I'm doing in life, what is going on in my life, if I had some small setbacks, I would just have it randomly with myself. I would be just sitting down, trying to journal and to be like, okay, girly, we're on therapy session right now with myself. Let's talk about it. What's bothering you? What's going wrong? Why is it going wrong? Let's think about this. I won't be leaving it up to fate. I won't be waiting till I'm depressed in bed, crying and don't know what to do, for me then to understand like, oh girl, we need to look back at our life and to think what went wrong and what we have done here for it to look that way. Instead, I will be planning it in my Google Calendar. So I would just add the quarterly meeting for me to show up to. And this is not just like, okay, I maybe will do this. This is a non-negotiable. You need to show up. You need to have this time. You need to make the time for doing this. If you do not have the time to doing this, you are moving the meeting for the next day, for the next week, and you are making it. You're sitting down, you are looking where you are right now, and you try to write out the next actionable step for each goal you're progressing in. And if you're not progressing in something, you need to review it, reevaluate it. If it is still valid for you, you need to write the first actionable step for you to actually start acting on it. Okay, so I think that's it. I've shared everything I wanted to share with you here today. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it will help you plan your 2025 and for it to actually be the best year yet for you. Just like I said, don't hesitate to use my template for creating your vision for the 2025. And also, if you like our little chit chat here, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.